Guys, today's a beautiful day. We're here at the headquarters in Dubai with nothing but our CTO and co-founder, Asan. Asan, thank you for being here with me and with all these people watching on YouTube. And I'm sure so many people are interested in knowing Be More, the founders, the story, what are we building? Because I was speaking with one leader yesterday, and this guy told me, looking at the industry from outside, you can really see that B has a heartfelt family vibe, and you're really building something beautiful. So I always tell people if they knew, they would join B, even as a customer, distributor, leader, whatever, because of what we're building behind the scenes. And that's why I'm here, because I want them to know you. And I would start off by asking, what is your story?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to speak to you, Giorgio. And right now we're in our new office. So yeah, it's good to be here. My story, just briefly, I've been part of the, let's just say, information and technology space for over 15 years. So prior to this industry, prior to this company, I was working for a company in UK. I was managing the infrastructure in Middle East and in Europe. And yeah, I was pretty much focused in my career. But at some point when you're working in the corporate world, you go to this stagnant point, right? Where you don't necessarily have the opportunity to do more or even innovate. So how I come to this position right now is, of course, because of my brothers. They found this beautiful industry, right? They found a purpose. And yeah, I was made aware of, right? Because I had no idea how all these things works. So I've been invited to see them over the course of time. They have many years building in this industry. And yeah, once upon a time, we decided to, at least myself, my brothers were like, okay, you have, certain strength, certain skill set, and we would like you to, work with us. And fast forward, here we are, right? So yeah, it's incredible for me to be here, So yeah,
So just for those who ask, so you never built network marketing, correct?
I don't know.
You always been around because of course your brothers were building heavy.
Right.
And so from outside, that is what we know and what we see every day is the combination of very different angles and views. I mean, same values, same principles, but different skills.
Right.
And it's so powerful to see because you don't come from the knowledge, so you're not inflated with the wrong things of the industry. You come out from outside and with a lot of technology and skills, while Moin comes with a lot of in-field knowledge and understanding of how it works. And so you're the one in charge of managing all the services, let's say building the new upgrades and managing the team, as well as Moin, of course, but you're the CTO, so I'm sure maybe you can even describe a little bit how a typical day look like, or what are your ideas of guiding a team in this space, and what is the idea of Sage Master? Because we have this platform. For those who don't know, we built this AI-powered technology, this platform, and there's very cutting edge in the fintech space. So I would love maybe that you can describe it a little bit, give them an idea, and what is the vision around it?
Yeah, that's really quite good questions. I would say is that, since the very inception, we had a very clear mission, right? What we wanted to achieve. We had a very clear vision. And over the course of time, it just got more refined, right? As the time went by. When it comes to what I do specifically, I'm always, super grateful, right? It's like you get a lot of freedom to do things that I wouldn't be able to do maybe, 10, 15 years ago, right? Because when you're working in a massive corporation, there is certain limitations, right? There is a lot of bureaucracy that's involved, right? So in order for you to go and reinvent and innovate, there is always certain restriction. Although I absolutely loved my experience and my career in the corporate world. And when it comes to here at this company, I was given more freedom, right? So as a result, I was able to do and focus more on the technology aspect. My brother, he was more focused on the field and the operations. When it comes to the building the product, right? Why we're building it and who we're building it for. The first thing we are looking at is solving some major problems that we see in the market, right? You know, in this industry specifically, right? You have individuals, right? Everyday people who don't necessarily have interest in the product to begin with. But then you have, you know, great leaders like yourself who are building a distribution, and you are obviously not discriminating who comes in and who doesn't come in. You're pretty much for all people. So that means we have to build a product that essentially support all these different types of audience, right? So the industry that we are in, which is in the trading space, is how can we make a product that can be self-explanatory, right? That means that if I come in, can I quickly understand what the product is, right? Do I need to study maybe a year to figure this out? Do I need to, you know, buy a course for 6 years, right, to figure this out? No. So we are always following that principle that this is a product for everybody, right? Now, of course, there are different levels and experience of people that can use the product. So if you're someone who's a beginner, there's a experience for that, right? So if you're someone who's a little bit advanced, there's an experience for that, right? So SageMaster is a platform that is designed to operate in multiple markets, right? Whether it is in the cryptocurrency, forex, right? Or even decentralized, decentralized crypto, right? So essentially, SageMaster is a platform that allows you to, especially if you're building a distribution, you can build a business in all these three major markets, right? But of course, if you're someone who's a customer, which is, of course, as a company, right? We are building the product for the customer, right? We're building it because for us, everybody is a customer, right? Whether you have years of experience, whether you're an incredible leader, you are still our customer for the product.
Yes.
So that means we have followed certain principles, which I spoke about on our last presentation. Is one of the key things that we have is that when we are building a product, we have to make sure is our customers winning. Because if our customers winning, we are winning, right? And second thing is that every feature, every service that we build, we take customers' interests into account, right? So there's a duty of care when we are building the product. So if you look at all the incredible products, like if you look at Spotify, if you look at any major services that Apple has produced or any other major company, they are very much purpose-driven to solve a specific niche, right? Likewise, we are in a path to lower the barrier for everyday people, right, to access this major market. And that can only happen also when there's an immense amount of execution that's happening every single day, right? Because I know there are many great products out there, right? And none of them reach the level where they are today without intense and immense amount of execution and, releasing major updates. And this is what we do when it comes to SageMaster. So I know it's a long...
No, but it's amazing.
But yeah.
And about the updates, it's incredible because every month there is a call with you or new updates, and we log into the platform and there's everything explained, tutorials and this and that. So the thing that you said, that for someone who doesn't have prior experience, they just plug in, combined with the ecosystem of DeepSage and Wow, and the tutorials in the app, it's very clear how to learn. And this, I think, is an important point for those who, like me, come from products. And they're like, oh, but what if I join this tech space? Then I need to become a trader. I think people are thinking somehow, maybe this is too complicated for me. What could you tell to someone like them, like it was me, about this matter?
Yeah, so the platform, again, is designed to, support people, not necessarily someone who's just a professional trader. But the question is how can I, as a beginner, can use certain tools that's already battle tested in the industry, right? And able to get best possible results. So if you're someone a beginner, means essentially you have either you have interest to become a trader, or two, you don't have interest at all. And that's okay. because SageMaster is designed to give you the tools that's already has the concepts, right? Where you would spend manually probably months and years to put it together for you, right? And then you follow that for you to benefit from. Where SageMaster, we looked at, okay, what are some of the proven methodology that we can apply and someone can easily utilize them, right? Because it's not like you have to invent something. It's not like you have to invent a strategy, right? So if you, for example, I give you a good strategy that we've launched probably last year, which is this year, we launched it this year, which is Omni Assist, right? Again, anyone can use Omni Assist manually, means we are very transparent. Like, we do not gatekeep how our strategy works, right? We are very transparent, explaining, hey, this is the strategy and this is what we tested. Now you can go and take the exact strategy and do it by yourself, right? But because we created this entire experience for people, where it's very convenient, very easy to utilize, where you don't have to do all the computation in your head, you can just use the platform to do that, right? So that what makes a massive difference for beginners, because they're essentially reading the information, right, which is easy to understand, and essentially then execute, right, on that. So anybody who uses their computer, anybody who's using a mobile device, or if you download the app store, right, if you download the app from the app store, right, you know how to navigate it, right? And I always give this example to people, right, is that everybody, or most people at least, learn to drive in their lifetime, right? But unless you have driven a bicycle, right? So in the beginning, you don't need to know the mechanics of it. You understand the concept. That's the most important thing, right? Once you understand the concept, it becomes a second nature. You instantly understand, and that's how SageMaster was designed, is that it should be self-explanatory, right? Once you start navigating it, you become used to it, and that's why we have thousands of happy customers, and we have incredible retention.
I like the metaphor of the car or the bicycle, and that's why I always tell people, like, hey, when you get the license for the car in Italy, at least it's like 6 hours of mandatory driving hours, and after you get the license, you can drive. You're not a professional driver at all. You can still crash if you don't know. If you just put the blinders on, just like, let me just drive. No, of course. But you know how to drive if you're just a little bit careful. You can definitely drive without crashing. And you don't know what's happening inside the engine. You just know that the car is moving.
You just need to know that you have enough petrol or you have enough charge, just like on your phone. And that's the important thing. So that's all it is. So yeah. This is that's one of the key principles that we have in mind, that it should be self-explanatory and anyone should be able to utilize.
And what about data? Because this is a data company, so you always show us a lot of data and stuff, because it's like, hey, we collect data, so we know customers log in 15 minutes a day in the platform. We know that there were billions of transactions throughout 2024, I even think. And so just a little maybe inside info about data, why do you track them? What is the purpose?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you're using any kind of products, if you're using the Apple iPhone, pretty much a lot of data gets collected, which is for an analytical purpose to understand how people are utilizing the product. With us, we take that very, very seriously, because we want to make sure that the feature that we have built, right, or the service that we have released, we want to make sure, are we reaching our success metrics? So everything that we do has a success metrics, and we want to monitor, obviously, is our customers utilizing this specific product as it is intended, right? So we spend a lot of time on, mainly on research and development. And once that service goes out into the production, we want to track the behavior, right? And once we track the behavior, it gives us a much more better insights. Okay, what can we do to further improve? That's why you see these updates every 2 weeks or every month we are pushing, because this is also a collection of a lot of the analytics that we collect to give people the best possible experience. And that's only happens when we collect the data.
And you always tell, this SageMaster version is the worst version you will ever see.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it kind of like baffles people when I say that. The reason I say this is because people who started in this company 7 years ago, right? Or even when we launched SageMaster.
3 years ago,
Yeah, 3 years ago, right? 3 years ago, 2 years ago. it's very different. The experience is very, very different. When I say different, I don't mean it's a new product, but it's a product that has evolved, right? Just like a human being, right? Just like leaders, they evolve into a best possible version. So that's why what you use today is always going to be the worst version what's about to come tomorrow.
And what is the market we're going for in terms of what is the competition? Let's say we're having. If you could maybe
like competition in this specific industry.
Yes, exactly. Like who are we thinking of? What is the market share we want to get in what field? Because network marketing in this space, there's no kind of competition because of the way we're building the service and the upgrades and so on. And
yeah. But that's a very good question, because when we look at in this specific space, right, it's like, who do we aspire to be, or who do we, sort of take a deep look at and, see where do we fit into that, competition, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
So at this point, like I genuinely do not know a similar company, at least in this bubble, but on a global scale, if we're talking about in comparison on a retail level, right? I think it's more of a question, can we as a company just go 100% retail, right? And my answer would be yes. Probably in several years ago, I would say no, right? But right now we are at a point where we can compete on all those different levels, right? In terms of the competition, to be honest, what we're trying to achieve, right? Because there are a lot of platforms out there, right? You also have like tradingview.com is an incredible platform that gives people, access to liquidity, access to, analytics, data, charts, and they are doing incredible jobs, right? However, we are not just doing that. We are essentially creating an ecosystem that can supply all the tools and resources that is necessary, whether it's someone a professional trader, whether it's someone is advanced, or someone is a complete beginner. So it's an ecosystem. We're supplying everything that you possibly need. Now, many of those platforms on a retail level, they are specializing in one specific niche, right? So in this case, TradingView focus on charting, right? Analytics, able to build Pine scripts and all this kind of thing, which is for the professional traders who are already interested in writing stuff in Pine script. That's for them. And of course, for beginners, they are able to just simply utilize their chart, or they follow certain teachers how to utilize the TradingView charts, right? So they just specialize in these two areas. And then you have other companies who purely support, for example, just trading aspect, right? So they are not interested, they're just supporting like, okay, you have your own strategy and you go and trade, right? That's simply it is. Whereas us, essentially, we're covering all those pillars, right? Not just giving access to the the charts, pricing, not just we're giving access to the tools we are building. Like we're canceling out a lot of the noises, right? For example, if we go to tradingview.com, they have so many different tools that you can go and use. Well, we're saying we just don't want to put any tools there. We want to make sure that our customers who comes in, they have access to tools that's already battle tested. That means they already have a good credibility in the industry, right? So when we talk about concepts like DCA and all those things, these are proven, right, in the industry, and it gives much better edge for a new person to, don't have to go through all these haggles. So yeah, on a competition level, SageMaster is pretty much has its own unique advantage on the retail market, right? In contrast to companies and the platforms just specialize in one specific focus area. And the reason is that they are very specific to the target audience. So many of those trading platforms you see, they're not necessarily focused on someone completely new. Exchange is, on the other hand, exchanges like crypto exchanges, they're like, okay, we need people to come to our platform and just buy and hold, right? That's why essentially exchanges, they need volume and so on. But if we look at in general, any platform that has any kind of similarity to us, their focus is also very specific. Like, are we targeting existing traders or professional traders, and what specific type of solution we want to provide, right? So we're taking a much more bigger responsibility in this case, which is also could be, some people may see like, okay, they're trying to do everything all at once, but we're not doing everything. We're focused on any kind of service that's going to serve a meaningful purpose, right? So it's not like we're just trying to create some kind of hype or anything, but we are very intentional what our customers need.
Which is lovely, because we as leaders and builders and I mean salespeople, we talk to people who, as you said before, they don't know anything. And so the best way for us to really build an ecosystem and residual income is if people are guided without our assistance somehow. So they plug into a platform and they can follow steps and be guided. So when I firstly saw it years ago, I was like shocked. So like, whoa, if I onboard someone, they don't have to become a trader if they don't want to. If they want, it's even better, of course. I mean, the more you know, the more you're going to be able to use the platform. And they are kind of self-guided. So, and what is the vision that you have in the next, let's say, 5 years? And also, if we put in the pot the AI thing that's happening and going around, how is this company taking the initiative to, let's say, not be threatened by AI, but rather use AI to our advantage? So vision and AI.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I mean, we've taken AI very seriously since its inception. I mean, we're not talking about ChatGPT, we're talking about the time when Google started the DeepMind project. And yeah, pretty much our staff, we've been looking into it for a while. I mean, we even done a presentation 5 years ago how AI is going to make a major impact. So when it comes to AI, we are not necessarily afraid of it. I think we are very excited because we want to use AI to the full capacity. I know many companies, they're talking about AI, they are, let's just say, connecting AI to the system. And I personally say they are using AI. They are not building AI. Right?
So wrapping like ChatGPT kind of things.
Yes, I mean, you can do all of that, which is fine. But there's a much more, you still need to be able to develop sophisticated algorithm for you to utilize AI to the full capacity, right? You still have to do fine tuning, right? If you're going to provide a proprietary service, right? And I have no issue if people are using, OpenAI or ChatGPT API, but if you're just using it just so that you can say we are an AI company and we are giving you, these amazing responses, which is essentially a knowledge base, you're kind of replicating. You are using AI as a company. You are not building AI. That's different. So what we're doing is that we are building it, right? So if we use, let's just say, a large language model or Llama, all these models that's already there, it's not just for us to just create a wrapper, but actually fine-tuning it. So what we do with SageMaster specifically, like ChatGPT doesn't have access to our data. They don't necessarily have access to, what our users, our users' data, or even they're not getting the queries. Even if you go to ChatGPT, it's not going to give you the personalized answer. So we created the project, which is called Deep Sage. It's essentially a platform that works with many different LLM models, but most importantly, we are fine-tuning our own data set that we have gathered almost 7 years. So when our customers ask a question, a lot of those answers are coming from fine-tuned trained data, right? So if you can go to SageMaster today, and if you have an account, you can ask information about your own account, right? So that's not a knowledge base. It's able to interact with our, endpoints or with our services. So you could say something like, hey, can you give me a breakdown of my account status or my trading positions, and it's going to give you a clear breakdown of what's happening. You can even do a counter analysis for you. So that's essentially what I say is we are forefront of building AI, not just being a consumer like everybody else.
Yeah. And guys, on this channel I have other videos talking about SageMaster. There is a SageMaster YouTube channel, so just look if you want to know more about how SageMaster works, what it is, and everything. And to close up, what would be maybe your advice for someone who's like, okay, how can I get my hands on this? Or your CTA in terms of call to action to people who maybe are just want to be customers, or they would love to build, or maybe they're already builders. What would be your approach if you were there?
Yeah, I would say if I'm completely new, frankly speaking, I would just go and play around, right? I'm gonna use the platform, I'm gonna turn on demo mode, right? Where I don't have to risk anything and I can start setting up a bunch of strategies. I do not necessarily have to understand everything, but the key thing is to be able to practically go and navigate and use the platform. And then along the side, we have a call that happens every Tuesday,
Yeah.
right? And so you can go and ask questions directly, right? And also all these strategies are pretty much explained. So we'll have an AI chat you can speak to that can explain you the strategy. So we are not gatekeeping. We're not saying that we have some kind of secret magic box and it kind of does trading for you. Pretty much everything is explained transparently how it works. And that's why I think our community loves it, because they see is like what you see is what you get, right? Everything is very clearly explained. And of course we have a Discord community, right, which you can join, where I'm there myself, I'm speaking to customers, a lot of our staff members are there, a lot of our support team there. So pretty much it's a very strong community when it comes to supporting each other with sharing knowledge, sharing strategies. And yeah, if you're someone new, key thing is to just start using it and ask questions, and yeah.
That's it. Thank you, Esa. Guys, drop a comment if you loved what he said, if you understood it, if you have any further question, and yeah, come and meet us at the headquarters here. Let's keep in touch. Esa, thank you so much for everything you do, because you make our life very simple. You know, with this whole ecosystem, we just connect customers, they get support, and also for us as leaders who build big teams, to have all this support in the Discord and support on the AI on Sage and the AI on DeepSage and this and that. You don't know, because maybe we don't tell you enough,
Right.
how much our life gets easy, because we just teach them how to use the system rather than to rely on us.
Yeah, I just want to quickly add, just before we wrap up, right? You know, many digital companies, like, you wouldn't know in terms of where they are or in terms of like what is their location exactly. I mean, we are pretty much here in Dubai HQ for the last 7 years. This is our new office. So if you're someone who's kind of maybe more deeply interested, and if you're a leader, you can definitely visit our office in Dubai. And yeah, you're very welcome. And of course, Giorgio is someone who visits pretty often at the office, and sometimes he's doing his thing. So yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of limbs. Well, how you call them? Whiteboard, technological
Yeah.
whiteboards, however.
Yeah.
So we can plug and play Sage Master. Then you can really see it in a big screen and everything. But thank you, guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. It's a pleasure.